Hello, people. Back at it again. Another episode of The World is Burning. My apologies if I sound a bit ropey. I'm a bit sick right now. I've got the flu that's going round. Shout out to the 710 subs. Love you all, guys. If you give a shit, join the community, guys. It's a fantastic community. I'll go through some of the comments a bit later. This episode, guys, we're talking about roommates and housemates again. This is where the powers that be want us all to be, I think. They're making it so expensive to live by yourself. If you're a single person, a bit like myself, it's especially rough. There's like the single tax, just having to pay double for everything, essentially. And this is where they want us all to go, people. This is where they want us all to be, living with people in house shares, flat shares, this, that, and the other. Let's look at this. A recent survey of 2,000 renters agreed by 20 to 40, the co-living brand ARC found that 74% of people had issues with it, so three quarters of people have issues living with people. Is it expensive? Of course it is. These days to rent a room, just a room, people, not a house, is just under £700 nationwide, and it's just under £1,000 in London, just for a room, people. This is how expensive it's getting out here. Most people having issues with it. 93% of those surveyed have noticed downsides to sharing space with flatmates. Look at that percentage, people. 93%, so there's 7% of psychopaths who actually enjoy it. But this is where they want us to be. So I'm not going to focus on the news articles too much today, guys. We're just going to get into the videos. I'll tell you, before we go on that, let's look at the debt clock. God damn, look at that number, people. Look at that number. It's absolutely insane. All these numbers are insane. If you want to blow your mind, go have a look at this thing. Now let's get into it. Watch some of the videos. I haven't seen any of these before. I've watched them with you. Let's see what the world's saying. That's it, guys. If you're living with freaks, prepare for that.
Live like no one else today so you can live like no one else tomorrow. Should I woke my baby up? This is a quote from Dave Ramsey. And what this quote means to me is that I'd rather live with roommates than live by myself in an apartment. And in this case, I still live with a roommate who doesn't pay rent. But no, my husband and I, we lived with roommates until we moved into this house, our fourth house. And time again, people would make fun of us saying, "Oh, why are you still living with roommates? You're old enough to live on your own." And it was because we were purchasing these houses and we were getting the roommates to pay for our mortgage. House hacking, if you will. I just got off the phone with somebody today who hasn't purchased a home. And they wanted to stay at the monthly payment that they were renting at right now, $1,100, which ended up being a $150,000 house with a 0% down. And that sales price wasn't...
Sorry, just going to pause this here. Don't ever put 0% down, people. Don't ever put 0% down. Even if you have to save up and get even a small deposit, it's better than putting 0% down.
To them, it wasn't the kind of house they wanted, the area that they wanted. So then when I told them that they are max qualified at $200,000, which meant a $1,600 monthly payment, they said that that was too high.
Yep.
So then I asked them, have you ever heard of house hacking, where you have roommates and they pay for your mortgage? To which they said no. They said, I'm 44 years old and I'm too old to get roommates. And I just think to myself, like, I didn't want to live with roommates either. But I did it because I knew that it would help me out in the long run. And I just think that sometimes people get blindsided by the short term and they don't look at the long term.
Yeah, what she's saying here, house hacking is a legitimate way of doing it. I don't class this as having proper roommates, though, because you're benefiting from the situation and they're paying you money, which is eventually putting into equity in your house, which you own. So you're really the king of this situation. I have no issues with this. What I'm mainly talking about, well, the powers that be want you to have is living in a house, paying a monthly fee to someone else just to live there for a room. And that's a bit different. That's a bit different because you're not in control of anything in that situation. Leave me a comment, though. What do you guys think?
I wouldn't be comfortable as a partner having female housemates. You can say or think what you like about that, but that is just me. That doesn't necessarily mean that if I met someone that I really liked and they happen to have female housemates, I'm just going to shut it down. If things got serious, I would express my disliking for the situation. If it's a mixed group of male and female housemates, obviously that's not as bad. It's still not ideal, but not as bad. When it's literally just him and his female housemate and just the two of them living in a two-bed house, like, I'm sorry, no. No. It just sounds so cozy, doesn't it? I know of plenty of men who are the same. They wouldn't want their partner living with another guy, especially one on one like that. Some housemates are two strangers or three or more strangers just living in the same house. Other housemates have been friends for years and then they move in together. I think when it's friends that have moved in together, that's probably worse. Me, myself, like if I was to move in with housemates, I would make sure that they are female. Obviously, there's all sorts of different scenarios. So, say if I couldn't find somewhere that was affordable and it just so happened that the place that was affordable had men living there, while it wouldn't be ideal, I mean, I guess that's where I'd be living. I totally understand it if I started seeing someone, they weren't completely comfortable with that. I think another reason is that if I were to express that I was uncomfortable with it, would that push us to move in together before we are ready to move in together? Then you don't want to rush your timelines within the relationship. I can think back to one situation within my most serious relationship where both of us were living with a mixed group of people. So in my house, there was 2 guys and 2 girls, including myself. And then in his house, I think it was like 3 or 4 guys and 2 girls, and the girls were friends. Because me and him had known each other as friends beforehand, we already knew each other's living situation, and we were already used to the people that they lived with, and we had both spent time at each other's houses. So it was comfortable for us because we knew the people that they were living with. Just meeting someone fresh and they have, especially when it's just them and their female housemate, for me, it's not the most comfortable of scenarios.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a comfortable scenario. I like this comment here from James Law. What if your man is bisexual? Is he allowed to live with anyone? Maria says, then no, I would not be okay with that.
How filthy they... Come with me into a miserable shared apartment experience. It's dark, dirty, and I'm bound to my bedroom 'cause I hate being near my housemate. She leaves her underwear in the shower.
Gross.
How filthy they leave the kitchen. I couldn't take it any longer and had to move out shortly after this.
Yeah, I've seen filthier kitchens, but yeah, the fact that you're living with people, you don't know their cleanliness, you don't know what they're like. This might be acceptable to them, and you're just forced into it. I have seen way worse kitchens though, but yeah, it's rough. You don't know who you're moving in with.
Fridge was left. Guys, I just wanted to let you know that
their house with a friend, used to be a friend, then this video is for you. I need to get some opinion. So I've been fucked over, lied to too many times that I know my current housemate or slash friend is lying to me. And I don't know how to fix it. This is completely off affiliate marketing, right? On my way to work, and sorry, it's a bit loud. And there's a bin guy. But anyway, this is off topic, off affiliate marketing, non-affiliate marketing topic. I just really wanted to know what you guys think, because it's doing my head in. I tried, this is the 3rd time, okay? 3rd time, a different person, different housemate, and I still haven't learned my lesson. I always give the people some benefit of the doubt that there are people out there that's, nice and know their boundaries and whatnot. But it's just frustrating because I have lived independently ever since I moved to Australia 7 years ago. So this is a bit of a story time, just to give you a bit of a context of why I feel this way. And then I have a friend over from the Philippines that I helped to come over to Australia. And then I let him live under my roof for free for 10 months.
Yeah, I think that's where you're setting it up wrong, though, guys. Like, if you're having someone move in, you should really charge them, I think, because especially if you're charging them, it's more of an official thing. If you're just like, oh, come stay with me for 10 months, they're gonna they're going to take the piss a little bit, I think, because they see it's free accommodation, I'm not losing anything here. Whereas if you're putting a price on it, at least it's a bit more of an official thing. I don't know. Leave me a comment, guys. What do you think on that?
And then, after that, I was asked if I can help him to be a permanent resident. Yeah. Second, so what I did is I just like cut the bridge and that's it. I don't want people to take advantage of me.
Yeah, we shouldn't.
That was like 7 years of friendship as well. Now, the second one, I helped another fellow Filipino to be able to find a rental place because he doesn't have a full-time job. He was only casual. So he can't be, or he's not going to be eligible to find a rental place just by himself. So what I did is, okay, we'll live together. Use my name. And then voila, we got the house together. Before we even moved in together, we had an agreement. So, like making sure that the house is clean, bins should be in the bin chute, yada, yada, yada. None of those happened. And I'm like, why do people lie? What's the purpose of that? Like, is it that hard to keep your word? And then this one, the third one. This is because it's just my partner and we're helping out a friend. Because we know she's been our friend for like maybe 2 years now for me, and then my partner, she's her friend for like maybe 5 years. Helped her. She's a kid. She's always been struggling to keep a job, to have an ID, everything. Like everything that a kid has the problem. Don't have any savings, always out, yada, yada, yada. So before we moved in, I told her that, you know what, look, what we're going to do is you just need to pay this amount every fortnight, including bills, water, whatever, all the bills. So it's just all inclusive for the amount that we told her. And then 7 months later, this is the second time she asked me if she delayed the payment. So the first time it was because it's her birthday. So I said, yeah, that's fine, all good. And then the second time, this is the very...
Sorry, I have to stop it here, guys. Just because it's your birthday is not an excuse. I mean, I know she keeps saying she's a kid and stuff. Your bills come before your birthday. I'm sorry, it's just the way it is.
Time she told me that her pay hasn't come through. And I'm like, that's a lie. Why people lie? I'm just so sick and tired of people taking advantage of me. And I really don't know what to do. Because my intentions were genuine. I just really wanted to help. But this is what they give back to me. So if you guys have any suggestions or opinions, how do you...
Yeah, I feel for this girl. She's a really nice girl. She's trying to help her friends. And this is what I'm saying, guys. Yeah, you might not even know who you're moving in if it's strangers, you're moving into a house share. But even moving your friends in, you don't really know what they're like until you're living with them. And this girl's being taken for a ride. I agree with this comment here. How to deal with it, kick her out. Tell her she has 2 weeks to move out if nothing changes. That's kind of the only way to deal with this situation, people, I believe.
The biggest fight I've ever gotten into with my roommate last night. And I don't know if you can tell by these awful dark circles and under eye bags, but I literally got no sleep. And honestly, I want to talk about it. Because number one, I'm still so hurt and angry and upset that I just need to get it out. And also some of you might relate to having an awful roommate situation. And she's blocked on everything, by the way, so she's not going to see this. But my girl roommate, I live with a couple, so her and her boyfriend, she is quite literally one of the most disrespectful and inconsiderate people I think I've ever met in my life. We have had problems in the past, but I have always obviously wanted a very peaceful
and livable household. So when we have had issues in the past, we've been able to sit down and have been like, look, you know, this is what happened, and this is kind of like how it made me feel. Like, let's figure this out, basically. I don't want to live in a hostile environment, and I need fucking peace in my life. And I've just come to realize that this person is so deeply inconsiderate and probably so deeply miserable in her own existence as a human being that she can't live peacefully and she can't approach issues peacefully.
And that's a lot of people. A lot of people have traumas. A lot of people don't know how to act right. A lot of people are in their own world and they're very inconsiderate. And unfortunately, these are the sort of people who are going to be moving into these house shares as well.
Regardless of who it is that you live with, no two people are the same, okay? So you're going to have different ways of living, and things are just going to come up in a roommate situation. And the way you communicate when these problems come up and the way you handle it says everything. Anyway, so I'm at work and she starts blowing up my fucking phone over an issue that could have been resolved had we had an in-person conversation and sat down. But instead, she literally fucking attacked me and said I've never been spoken to this way. Like the most disgusting, foul ass fucking language. My best friend and I have been friends for 8 years. We lived together previously for 3 years. We've gotten into some fights, okay? In any friendship, you're gonna have a fight. My best friend and I have never ever once spoken to each other this way or ever even remotely got as close to being as disrespectful as the way this bitch talked to me last night. When we all moved in together, we had the agreement that we were not going to do the like splitting food thing. Like, this is your food, this is my food. Basically, the agreement that we came to is if you ate something and you finish the last of it, you replace it, right? Understandable. And it's been this way for the last 6 months since we've all lived together. And so I ate and finished off the last of one of her snacks, reordered it. Literally, it arrived yesterday. And in this argument, this bitch had the audacity to say to me, you wouldn't have eaten all my food if you didn't have a raging eating disorder. Jesus. Girl, what the fuck? Literally, who talks to somebody like who says something like that to a person? Especially when when we've had conversations at length about my history of disordered eating. Also, I don't know if you can hear their dog screaming his head off in the back, but every time they leave him, their dog does this. And
that's it, guys. You don't even know if they're going to have dogs. You don't even know what they're bringing into the house. You don't know what chaos. And this girl, I'd be very careful who you're explaining your traumas to, because you don't know when they're going to use it and turn it back on you and make it an issue. So be very careful with that, people.
Hours and barks his head off. Anyway, what transpired after this conversation was basically the both of them trying to essentially intimidate me and bully me out of moving out of my own fucking house, which is not gonna happen, okay? Paid a fat ass deposit to move into this beautiful big home. And now she wants to like act like a fucking victim. And she's like, oh, we're being, now we have to live together against our own will. She wants to act like a victim in a problem she created. And the situation has me so upset and so angry. But I've also realized, like, how sad for her. Like how sad that a grown-ass fucking adult has, number one, 0 communication skills, 0 conflict resolution skills, and is so deeply heinous and foul and just an outright fucking mean girl. Like, you're a mean girl at 27? Gross. And I deeply believe that people like this and who she is her own karma. And it sucks that I have to live with this evil bitch for 6 more months, but it is what it is.
You only got 6 months and you can get out there. Just try and be a bit more picky who you're moving with. But look at all these comments on the side, guys. These are all saying how terrible it is having roommates. I tried a roommate thing, 0 out of 10, never ever again. Just go through these comments, guys, while I'm scrolling through this video. Absolutely insane. I'm seeing no positive stuff here. One more and we'll get out, guys.
With a boy having... Okay, this is another reason why I hate living with a boy. Having boy roommates fucking suck. Look at that. Look at this. A guitar, a blanket. This particular blanket, like, the fuck?
Yeah, guys, as a boy, I can say it. We are gross. I feel for any women who's living with like 4 boys. But leave me a comment, guys. Have you had to move with roommates? What's your take on this situation? Do you think this is where they're trying to force us all with these exorbitant rents and just the cost of everything. Love hearing from the community. We'll take a quick look at some of these. Alice O'Donnell, it is shocking how hard it is for a single person to live these days. Yes, it is true, it is true, it is true. Mr. Classy, they want you to own nothing. Once again, I think that's true as well. Silks, shout out Silks, he's commenting loads, love the guy. One huge tip for anyone that struggles with a housemate being noisy at night is get decent earplugs. You get used to them. They're not perfect, but a whole lot better than the prolonged periods of broken sleep. Living in different house shares over the years, there are sometimes people make noise throughout the night and have every right to. Like going to the toilet or speaking on the phone, the earplugs make it so it doesn't affect you. Top tip from Silks there, guys. So yeah, leave me a comment. Oh, we'll do this final one. It's a giant middle finger from the country to young people. I think that's a fitting one to leave it on. Leave me a comment, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.